10. Killed by Alec Baldwin. Not long ago, Alec Baldwin was filming for a new movie called Rust at the Bonanza Creek Ranch just outside Santa Fe in New Mexico, and a woman was killed. Actually, 2 crew members were sent to the hospital, and one of them died. Deputies were dispatched to a 911 call at the ranch after an accident with a prop firearm. The prop had been in the hands of Alec Baldwin, who was told that everything was good to go. The gun was only supposed to fire blanks, but when he pulled the trigger, he killed the director of photography and wounded the director. Even with the director of photography being airlifted to the University of New Mexico Hospital, she still didn't make it. Her name was Helena Hutchins, 42 years old. And even though she wasn't technically an actress, this just goes to show how dangerous it can be anywhere near a film set. Even if you're not an actress, you can still apparently take a bullet from Alec Baldwin. The police are currently investigating the incident, trying to determine whether it was truly an accident or something more nefarious. And while no charges have been formally brought up yet against Baldwin, if things don't go his way, he could be booked for murder. 9. Captain America Murderer. Molly Fitzgerald had a small role in the 2011 movie Captain America: The First Avenger, but it was the last major movie that she will ever star in, seeing as how she has just been charged with murdering her mother. Here are the gruesome details that we know about. 68-year-old Patricia Fitzgerald was discovered dead inside her house in Kansas on December 20th, 2019. 11 days later, her daughter was arrested in connection to the death. According to a court report, Molly had called the police just shy of 12 o'clock in the afternoon to say that she had killed her mom in self-defense. When the police responded to the call, they found Patricia dead on the floor in a pool of blood, with a knife stuck in her back. The excuse of self-defense very quickly went out the window. An autopsy revealed that Patricia had sustained 4 stab wounds to her back and had defensive wounds on her hands. In other words, the evidence was clear that the daughter attacked the mother in a violent fit of rage and stabbed her until she stopped squirming. And in a bizarre turn of events, Molly was ruled incompetent to stand trial and has since been sent to a mental hospital. Her mental state will be re-reviewed every 3 months until she can finally stand trial for murder. 8. Jessie Jane. The adult film actress Jessie Jane has gotten into some serious trouble, all thanks to a brawl with her boyfriend. The 39-year-old actress, real name Cindy Taylor, was arrested in Oklahoma for viciously attacking her boyfriend while she was intoxicated. According to the police report, Jessie Jane and her boyfriend were drinking heavily before things started to go sour. She took his medication and threw it in the trash, screaming that he was taking illegal steroids. Then when the unnamed victim confronted her, she blew up in a wild rage. With her fist clenched, she attacked her boyfriend and beat the hell out of him. Whoa! When the police arrived on the scene, the boyfriend was sitting in the driveway waiting for them, a bloody left eye and his hand covered in bite marks. Jessie Jane tried to play it off like she had been defending herself, but the police couldn't find any injuries on her body. It was only her boyfriend that was covered in his own blood. This wasn't the first time the adult film star has gotten into trouble either. Way back in November of 2018, she was also arrested in Oklahoma for public intoxication. The police discovered the actress drunk and passed out on the sidewalk, soaked in her own urine. This girl is obviously a huge mess, and you can probably see why she's been working in the adult entertainment industry for 10 years. It's not like she can get any other kind of work, since she's usually drunk, beating someone up, or peeing her own pants. 7. Drunk Pocahontas. The star of Pocahontas, the animated Disney movie from 1995, has been arrested twice in just 3 days for being a drunken maniac. Yes, Pocahontas has a drinking problem. Her real name is Irene Bedard, now 53 years old. The first time she was arrested recently was at her ex-husband's house in Ohio, where she was causing a domestic violence situation. When the police arrived, Pocahontas had a belt in her hand and exclaimed, "Oh look, they sent the white man to come get me." When the police got near her, the woman smelled like a brewery. She couldn't stand up straight, she had problems speaking, and was just an overall mess. When the police questioned her ex-husband, he claimed that she had arrived out of nowhere, forced her way in, and then started kicking people. The police took her to jail and charged her with domestic violence and resisting arrest. She posted bond and then was arrested again just a few days later for harassing the front desk clerk of a hotel. The police were called because a drunk and combative woman refused to leave the lobby. It took several officers to get her handcuffed and back to the station. How do you feel about this iconic Disney actress having a raging drinking problem and continuously being hauled off to jail? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're liking this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. 6. Dead asleep. Margaret Whittaker Lawrence was born on August 2, 1889. She grew to become a wildly famous stage actress who performed on Broadway in the 1920s. Her career began in Chicago in 1910. She appeared in New York in 1911, and by 1919, she was playing in Broadway plays like Secrets and Lawful Larceny. And if you haven't heard of these old Broadway shows, don't worry, they're over 100 years old. Sadly for Margaret, her body was discovered by a friend who became worried when she didn't come out of her house or answer her telephone. The friend used a pass key to enter her apartment, at which point she found Margaret lying in bed. The sheets were stained red, and there was a small dark circle on Margaret's left side, right over her heart. Margaret had been shot in the heart while she slept. The killer was the actor Louis Benison, who also did stage acting in New York. Louis was found beside the bed with a bullet through his heart too. The police were able to figure out what happened pretty quickly. Both actors had gotten caught up in boozy lifestyles, with each of their careers having slipped in recent years. So in a bizarre, drunken mood swing, Louis killed the young stage actress, then did himself in too. 5. Scooter hit and run. Lisa Baines, an actress that appeared in the movie Gone Girl, died after a brutal hit-and-run accident. But it wasn't a car that ran her over. It was a scooter. This happened in New York City when Lisa was hit by a person driving an electric scooter on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, near the Lincoln Center. She was crossing the street when the lunatic on the scooter came cruising along and knocked her off her feet. She fell down and hit her head so hard that she had to be sent to the Mount Sinai Morningside Hospital, where doctors say she suffered a traumatic brain injury. She was unable to recover from this injury and passed away. Throughout her life, Lisa Baines appeared in over 80 roles on TV and film. She probably would have appeared in many more if it hadn't been for Brian Boyd, the 26-year-old man who killed her. He's been arrested and charged with leaving the scene of an accident that resulted in death. He's also being charged with failure to yield to a pedestrian. He drove his scooter straight through a red light, which is exactly how he killed Lisa Baines. 4. A deadly murderess. A former adult film actress was arrested on October 1, 2021 for the alleged crime of stabbing to death her young son. And if that's not shocking enough, just listen to the rest. Her child was only 2 years old when she plunged a knife into him. And to make matters even more horrific, She left the kid's dead body on a checkout counter at an Italian supermarket. From what the police can piece together, this was a revenge killing in which she sought payback against the father of the child. She didn't actually care about the kid at all. She only wanted revenge. The adult film actress is named Caitlin Elizabeth Braddox, 44 years old at the time of the murder. She is now facing life imprisonment and will probably get it. Judges don't usually have a lot of sympathy for toddler killers. She walked into the supermarket, shouted for help, and put her son's body on the checkout counter. He had 9 stab wounds across his body, neck, and chest. The police sealed the store, then questioned everyone inside. That was when they found the knife responsible for the stabbing in Caitlin's purse. She had done a horrible job of trying to cover her tracks. The police also found blood-stained clothing near an abandoned building. They deduced that she stabbed the baby outside the store, then brought it in to dump its corpse. But why do something so horrible? Well, just a few days before, her ex-husband had been awarded custody of their son. This enraged Caitlin so much that she stole her son back, left Hungary, and traveled to Italy to get away from her ex-husband, then committed murder. She was probably thinking that if she couldn't have custody of her own son, nobody could. But really, you would think she could hatch a better plan than stabbing the child to death and leaving him at a supermarket. 3. Eerie similarities. In 2020, the independent horror movie From the Dark featured the actress Tucker Moore Reid. She played a woman who had just killed a man while saying it was self-defense. The role turned out to be weirdly similar to something that happened to Tucker in real life. In reality, she actually killed her uncle, then told the authorities it was self-defense. To understand the whole story, we need to back it up to at least 2010. It was in this year that Tucker alleged she was viciously assaulted by her boyfriend while studying at the University of Southern California to major in drama. Nothing ever came of it, and she was so mad that she wrote about the incident in her blog, posting his real name and his picture. She had a libel suit filed against him, and it was a big nightmare. From then on, she got very into activism. She wrote for the Huffington Post, for XOJane.com, and even sometimes for Cosmopolitan. But as it turned out, she had some serious problems. In July of 2016, she killed her uncle during a family dispute. She tried to shrug off the charges, saying that she had simply been defending herself. But the police investigation revealed that she had shot her uncle in the chest, maliciously and with intent. She'll now be spending the next 6 years in jail. 2. College bribery. Lori Loughlin, the actress who played Aunt Becky in Full House, got in trouble a few years ago in a college admission scandal. She and her husband, the fashion designer Mossimo Giannulli, were charged with bribing college officials so they would enroll their 2 daughters in the University of Southern California. The couple paid $500,000 for their enrollment. They paid all this money because their kids didn't have the natural credits to get into the school on their own. But as we know now, the scheme backfired. They got caught. Lori Loughlin got 2 months in jail, had to pay a fine of $150,000, and had to do 150 hours of community service. Her husband served 5 months in jail, had to pay $250,000, and had to do 250 hours of community service. 1. The Brazilian voice actress. Brazilian voice actress Christiane Luiz, known for her small roles in TV shows like The Simpsons, as well as video game characters in things like Overwatch, Halo, and League of Legends, was killed. According to Brazilian police, a man named Vasconcelos da Costa was robbing the actress at the time of her murder. He had broken into her house, then cut her throat with a broken chalice. Not knowing what to do, He employed his mother to help cover up the crime. When police searched the murderer's home, they discovered some of Cristian's belongings. Police learned that Vasconcelos and his mother had kept the woman's body in their house for 2 days before they stashed it. After they hid the body, it took police 3 days to find her. The motive for the killing is still under investigation. The police believe the murderer was somehow trying to secure Cristian's inheritance, but they have not figured out any kind of plan for how he would do it. It's a really bizarre case, especially since the pair had known each other for years. They met at the same psychiatric clinic and became friends. During their friendship, Vasconcelos had the idea to kill the woman and then somehow steal all of her money. But everything backfired, he got busted, and he's now looking at spending the rest of his life in jail. What do you think of these bizarre actresses? Let us know in the comments, and thanks so much for watching. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more awesome videos from the channel. See you next time. Bye.